Welcome to Welcome, North Carolina. It is stop number 2 for our garage tours here. We are coming to see Kaulig Racing, one of the most unique race teams. They started with a 1-car Xfinity program, have exploded to having upwards to 6 cars in a weekend. Now, this is also one of the groups with the most characters. AJ Allmendinger, Chris Rice, newly added Josh Williams. We're about to meet some of these guys today. Carly, how we doing?
Welcome in. How's
Hey.
it going?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, I'm looking for, you know who I'm looking for. Where's the man? Where's Chris
He's
at?
straight back there. You'll find him in his office.
All right. Okay. This is not an average shop office. Chris,
I'm just having some water, dude. What you doing?
what we got going on in here?
You need a drink? You want a Celsius? Can I get you a Circle water? Like, yeah, come on. Which one you want?
I mean, we should probably save that one for later. We should probably save that one for
Well,
later.
it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Well, I'll take a Celsius.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
nice and cold. Get
Yeah.
you one of those, yeah.
All right, Chris. It's good to see you, my friend.
Hey, good to see you. You play golf,
A little bit.
do you?
Yeah.
Are you good at it?
I mean, I can hit the ball.
Let's change your game a little bit, okay? So for my fine friends at Kaulig Racing and LA Golf, I'd like to give you a nice, very expensive putter, bud. LA Golf putter. Look on the backside of it.
What's it say?
Kaulig Racing.
Kaulig
bud.
Racing.
You'll always remember us when you miss a putt.
Listen, when I go to the college championships this year, up at
Yeah, you
I'm
can
gonna
do
have to
it.
bring this up here.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Okay, Chris. I was telling the people, this place is so unique, and you guys started with a 1-car Xfinity team. When did you guys start that?
So we started in 2016. Matt decided to start racing 2015, like October 31st. We had nothing. We didn't have a tool. We didn't have a 9/16 wrench.
That's pretty much what you need all the time.
Yeah,
no
you
matter
need that
what.
all the time. Like, we didn't have anything. We didn't have people. We didn't have anything. So I came to work for Matt December 7th of 2015. And we started our first race 2016 at Daytona. We finished 9th. So 8 years later, here we are.
How many wins? You guys up to like 20-something wins? now,
25 wins. But we didn't really start winning until we got AJ. I mean, AJ's first race, we won. It's with Ross Chastain, Daytona. You know, Matt Kaulig was so good to us. On the backside, he was telling me, hey, I want to race more cars because we got all these cars. I'm like, okay, so we decided to race AJ. We go win Atlanta. He gets qualified for the Dash for Cash. We go to Homestead and they got 2 races, if you remember.
Yeah.
Like we had one race the night before and then the next race. Well, he didn't run but the second one, so he had to start dead last. And we wasn't that good. He ends up winning the Dash for Cash, so he's in the next race. And it's like, oh boy, we don't have enough cars to make this happen.
Wasn't a part of the plan.
It was a part of the plan.
Winning money at left and right.
It was like, okay.
Well, let's go check out the shop and see what you guys got going on.
Let's do it.
there.
Thanks for coming.
Oh, happy to be here.
So what's cool about it, we call this the bottom shop.
Okay.
So because we don't have a cup shop and a Xfinity shop, so you'll see as we walk through here, Xfinity cars are set up here and finalized here. So the Xfinity cars leave from here, but the cup cars are built here. So, but as you can see, when the fans get to walk in, they get to see the cars, cup cars on the first plate, Xfinity cars on the second plate. And we try to make sure that everybody understands that it's Kaulig Racing. Mm-hmm. It's not a cup team and an Xfinity team. You know, it is all one team. The 31 wrecked at Phoenix, you've seen all the Xfinity guys come over and start helping them. So it's a lot of moving parts in this area, but as you can see, we've changed the way cup racing is done. We've condensed the suspension rooms, the interior room, the rack room, and you'll see all that. Right here, so these are our crew chief's offices for Cup. So Travis Mack sits here, Trent Owen sits here, and when I was a crew chief, I wanted to always see the shop. Yeah. I wanted to see what my guys were doing. I wanted to be part of it. You throw them in an office where they can't see nothing, then you can't see it. So they get to see that. We have our own site nurse that's here 3 days a week. She sits in the end office. You can go and do some things.
Talk about this man right here for a
Josh
second.
Williams.
Josh Williams.
Josh Williams. I love Josh Williams. And Josh has struggled mentally and on the racetrack. He's had so many circumstances that has killed him this year. But that dude is going to prevail. I can promise you he has the mindset to do it. But this is his car for COTA. And as you can see, it will go on the surface plate, and then it'll be finalized here. The same people that set up the 16 Xfinity car and the 97 Xfinity car, they all set up all the cars. Okay. It is not the 11 team or the 16 team or the 97 team, it's all one team. The same guys, like Almendinger right now is being set up here. The guy that car chiefs the 11 is actually setting it up.
It's a real team.
It's a real team.
Which is a little different because a lot of teams don't do it necessarily.
A lot of teams don't do it that way. Right now, what's going on over here is the Cup debrief. So basically, we obviously had AJ run. We had AJ run the Cup race, so he will be, as he is right now, the leader of that group running at Jaws, like I do. So, and then you got Travis Mack, you got all the engineers in there. So they'll talk about what went on throughout that race.
Yeah.
We have, in this shop, we have 2 mega plates, big plates. It is perfectly
flat.
level.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we put these holes in there, and with the roller arm, we measure the cars. We measure all our own cars. And as you can see, AJ's Coda car, the leaf filter gutter protection car, is getting set up, final setup right now. Actually, the guy that works on the 16 and the 31 are actually doing that car. As you can see, we'll walk through here and I'll show you some front and rear clips. The things that on these Cup cars, they bolt on front and rear clips.
Right.
So what we do as a company, we have 14 cars, 7 and 7, and we have 2 spares. So we have 2 spare rear clips, 2 spare front clips. So we never get in a bind. So we measure all our own stuff, we do our own stuff, and this is room right here, decals show up. I call it a messy room because they can kind of put stuff everywhere. So we knew moving forward that we were going to have a Hawkeye. And what we mean by a Hawkeye is what NASCAR uses to tech all our cars.
Yep.
So we purchased a Hawkeye. Every car goes through that. The last thing they do is they go through that before they go to racetrack.
Would you say that investment by itself, I would think that it's paid off a lot because you're getting to the track, you know your limits, versus like, we think we're in limit. The Roam Arm's different. It measures everything, but this is really getting you fine-tuned.
That definitely helped us. When we started the Cup program, we were failing tech a ton. I mean, we were not doing a great job for NASCAR. We're not doing a great job for us. We were failing tech a bunch. This has definitely helped us. I think this year we've found some errors that we're doing here that we need to fix, but definitely that has helped us. That has been a great investment. The cool thing about being in Welcome, North Carolina, we have one. Not even 600 feet away, RCR has one, and they identical. So if theirs breaks, they can come here. If ours breaks, they can go there. So that's actually cool. This is a cool part of our shop. We put the suspension room. We have our own steering rack guy. We have our own seat department. So we condensed that to a smaller area. Our steering and transaxle room is here, okay? So the 2 guys that work in here, they have to talk to the seat guys because they're right across the hall. They have to have a conversation with them. Hey, is the seat going in? What's going on right now? So all our seat stuff is here. And then if you walk on down, which is my opinion, the heartbeat of these new cars is the suspension room. They do all the suspension for all the Cup cars. And it's just this area. Like, I remember when suspension rooms will get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And you'll see with the Xfinity one, it's probably double, maybe even triple this size because it's so much more stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and they have done a great job in this room to be able to make it work. We've got them some nice lights back here finally. They worked in the dark for a couple of months, but they didn't know how bad they looked until we turned lights on. Then they started shaving again. I was like, dude, y'all were that bad before.
Damn, bro, get up. You ain't hurt.
You ain't hurt. But they stay, what race are you working on right now?
Richmond.
So he's 1 race ahead, so he'll have this on the car by probably
a day.
probably this will be all on the car today. I want to show you another cool part that we built. So I'm a clean freak, obviously, right? So when we bought this building, this was wide open. This was just a lean-to. And I said, let's close it in and make it the teardown room.
Yep.
So when the cars come off the trailers, they go right here. They'll clean up 1 car at a time. And we take interns. We'll take our interns, like with this guy, now he works for us. He's about to get out of school. And we put them in the cleanup bay. Yeah. And we make them tear down the cars, clean the cars, and now he's moving into working the roamer on.
Yeah. When I was at SHR, this is where I started. In the teardown, that's how you learn. It's the best place. You really figure out what you're working with and what direction you want to go.
Give you a good example. I call him Kimono.
Kimono.
That is a Japanese steakhouse here in Welcome, North Carolina, because he was a cook at the Japanese steakhouse. That's where we got
So
him.
we're in a little different spot now.
Just a little
Yeah,
he wanted to work on a race car, so we brought him to a race car.
Welcome to the show, baby. You guys are, holy shit. That's 7?
You see what I'm saying? You don't realize how big we are until you do this.
It is
It's
7.
5. It's 5. I mean, 6 of them.
Oh, 6.
3 and 3.
So
you
there's so many, I'm starting to lose track of
yeah. You don't realize that until you just done what you did. You walked out and you went, what? Look at all the stuff.
I really didn't think about, I didn't think about how many, it makes sense.
But you don't think about it. You don't think about it. So we're as big as most of your, like Hendrick has 4 cup cars.
Yep.
We have 5 total teams.
Right.
Like they just, it's just on a bigger scale.
It's on a bigger scale.
So, and we're very fortunate to have all the partners we have, with Celsius, Circle, WeatherTech, Alloy.
What is like the 1 or 2 things that makes this place special and unique? We've talked about a lot of different things, but just give me like 1 or 2 that really like.
I would say the one thing is family. We really believe in family. If you have a ball game, we want you to go to the ball game. We want to have enough people that if somebody needs to go somewhere and do something like that. And I would say it's the way Matt lets us run it. We get to run it as it's a business, and you get to have a life. NASCAR forever, man. You know how hard you work. You work night and day. You don't have a life. So I think sometimes when people talk about coming to welcome North Carolina, we try to do it so the guys and girls have a life. And that's the key to it. And thanks to Matt Kaulig, everybody in Ohio, we'll continuously do that.
Oh yeah. Well, we got some of your boys we're gonna go chat up with. He's almost undefeated at the Roval. I don't think he ain't really lost if he's been full time, right?
He's won every time we've taken him to the Roval.
Yeah. So we got AJ. We're gonna go see Daniel Hemrick drive with the 31 Circle car.
Thanks, baby. Thanks, Mamba.
So AJ Allmendinger, Arrow's dad.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So the video this weekend at Bristol of me Simbaing him, when you saw it, because you were high-fiving everybody,
Yeah.
What was your reaction when you saw it?
Well, at first it's like you just randomly think somebody's trying to hand me a baby, and I love Arrow. I don't want to touch other babies. And then it was like, thank God he had the green on, so all of a sudden right away it occurred to me that was my child. So yeah, that was a good time.
I think we'll talk Charlotte Roval, because you've never really lost a weekend there.
Not since I've started driving the Xfinity cars. No.
Right.
Yeah.
What is it about that place specifically that it works for you?
I don't know. I mean, it's just I enjoy it. You go to a place that you enjoy, it just clicks a little bit more. It's just a fun racetrack to me. And the Xfinity cars we've had, it's kind of funny the way we've won those races, because I feel like 2 of those races, or at least one of them, we had the best car, and the other 3 we kind of somehow ended up in victory lane and kind of looked at each other like, how'd we do that?
So this whole thing is about doing a shop tour, seeing different places. We talked to Chris Rice earlier. Character.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But what makes this place different for you? You've been to big shops, you've been to smaller teams. This is kind of a big team in a small place, it feels like. It's not like small by no means.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Joe Gibbs and the Hendrick and the Taj Mahal that the 2311 looks like that they're working out of now.
Oh my God.
It's wild. You see what you're racing against on the cup level.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of it. It's not easy. You see those places. I always tell people, like, we have to go do sim basically at Hendrick Motorsports. Like, that's where the sim is at. Like, it's GM.
It's on Mr. Hendrick's property.
Yeah, like, so
Hendrick cars and then the shop.
Yeah, exactly. So you're racing against the elite, and that's why it's so tough. So that's why things like last year at the Roval, when you win, you see that emotion out of me, because it's not easy to win a cup race. And this place is growing. Matt had owned the building up top for the longest time, and when we were going the cup direction, he bought this building, so he owns both the buildings. It's kind of in the RCR campus, but yeah, it's growing, and I think it's one of those things you keep building until you outgrow it, and then you got to figure something else out.
What is it about? 'Cause we talk about character, personalities all the time. They love your personality. you get. I mean, we got a thing on driver intros. Yeah, it's unique. But like, what is it about? You understand that you might not do this again. You might not win another race, and it all comes out. I feel like a lot of the other guys are like, "Sweet, we won," and it's like,
I'd like to have their problems. That means they win a lot, right? But it's it goes back to, on the Cup side of it, it just goes back to the fact that you know what you're having to race against.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to go beat these race teams, race against the best drivers in the world. But yeah, I mean, I think Matt and Chris, good and bad, I mean, they love my personality. And my personality is fun when we're having fun, right? We have some fun.
We have some fun.
But you've also seen when it's not going well, I'm pissed off. And I take it to heart. I tell Tara sometimes, God, I wish there was like 10% of me that could let it go a little easier.
Yeah.
But that's not me. And I feel like if I ever lose that 10%, I might as well just retire.
Well, that 10% is what keeps you so active in the car.
So
keeps you going.
They love, I think, both sides of that, because I'm going to push us, and we're in it together. When we struggle, I say, we suck.
Yeah.
Like, not you guys.
Yeah.
It starts with me. I suck, and I'm not doing what we need to do to make us better. But yeah, we have the fun when it's time to have fun, and they see my passion for being better at all times.
I know you got stuff to do, but before I let you go, last question is, what is it that you're a cornerstone of this place? It's different going to a Penske where like it has success, but this place didn't have success. 20-something race wins until you got here. How's that been like for you? It's different starting at the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun because you build it together. You know, when I went to a place like Richard Petty or Roger Penske, you walk in those places and you see the history of the race team. Like it's amazing to be a part of that. And I remember especially walking into Penske Racing, like Roger was like the guy I wanted to drive for. Right. I just remember, it's like, you look around over the 200 or 300 wins that they got, like the 19 Borg Warner trophies that they got sitting right there. I'm like, God, I just want to be a part of this wall. Like once, let me be a part of this wall. And you're just, you know, I won 2 Xfinity races. I'm a very like minuscule part of that organization. You look at these walls, like it's a lot of our wins together.
Yeah.
And I've been, I feel like a big part of that. And Matt and Chris make me feel like a big part of that. And that's why I try to do everything that I can for whoever shows up to drive for the team. That I said, my door's always open. Like, I'll help as much as you want me to or as little as you want me to, but I'm going to do whatever it takes, because if they win, we all win, because I feel like we're growing this together. And that's really because Matt and Chris allow me to feel like that. And we've done some pretty damn cool things together.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Brickyard, that's pretty cool.
Kiss the bricks twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
All right, baby. Appreciate you.
Thanks, man.
Daniel Hot Shoe Hemrick. Daniel, the Hot Shoe name, where's that come from?
Ooh, where's that come from? I haven't been asked that in a long time.
I know. Because no one I try to use it in driver intros because I think it's unique.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know, but so obviously Corey LaJoy was super growing up. Right? We grew up together. Raced. He was usually in different series than I was in, but we ended up childhood-wise. We were around each other a lot. And so his father, Randy, was obviously a family friend of ours. And somewhere along the way, winning races in my youth, he was like, man, you're quite the hot shoe. And I was like, what? And he said it a couple times, and a couple people heard him say it. And the next thing you know, everybody on the short track side was saying it, and it kind of stuck. So the logo itself is actually a lowercase d and a lowercase h in the form of a shoe, right, with flames on it. And the side story behind that logo was, I was maybe 13, 14 years old, and I looked up, like, how do you get a logo designed? And ended up on one of those websites where, like, you put some ideas out there, people like, hey, I'm gonna offer $100. People bid and design logos.
Oh, word.
And then you adjust it and change it, and eventually at the end of like a 24-hour or 48-hour, maybe the name of it, 48-hour logo, you pick one.
That's wild.
Yeah, so that's kind of where the logo came from. That was a long, long time ago.
So one of the coolest things about me and Daniel that is very random is I went from driving to mechanic, and as I was a mechanic through a house, they started being like, hey, do you want to do pit, go to the wall, change tires? I'm like, what do they make? Oh, yeah, that sounds cool.
Sign me up for that.
Sign me up for that. But the first time I went over the wall was for Daniel Hemrick in a super late model race at Gresham.
That is right.
What was that called? World Crown. It was like 300. The last one. And we were about this far. We were the fastest pit crew on pit road, by far.
By far.
And we were about this far away from winning that thing. And you got used up down to one with like 3 to go.
Yeah, that was, man, that is our little tie together.
That's a little tie.
Yeah. The other fun fact of that was, I believe, Paul Swan, who's either on the 8 or the 3.
Paul Swan and Darrell who's on
who's
the 20 now.
Yeah, man, that was I think it was everybody's first live pit stop.
Yeah, dude, we had a squad.
Yeah, the other side of that is I didn't know that was y'all's very first live stop. I thought, oh, these guys are professionals. We're paying them to come in here. They've done this a lot. Yeah,
So great.
good stories.
So you've been here for a few years now, here at Kaulig.
Yep.
What makes this place special?
It's just a different atmosphere, right? I feel like you can talk to AJ, the other drivers, the crew chiefs. Like, the crew chiefs have been a part of, substantially bigger organizations, if you will, but there's a different feel within the walls of Kaulig Racing. There's something about, whether it comes from Matt Kaulig and the way he runs his businesses, right, down to Chris Rice, who obviously everybody's become more familiar with on social media, and whether their shirt's on or off, you never know. But, you laugh, but that's the point, right, is no matter what, inside these walls, I'd have a good time. That's really cool. I mean, I'm three years into it now. Super, super pumped to be here, like every single day to come in here to see how hard, all the men and women here are working, just in general, knowing that it's for a common goal, right, to go be the best we can be. We're going to have a good time doing it. Boy.
Yeah, I feel like this place is, AJ said it, Chris has said it, it's about family here. And not that it's not at other places, but when you're not a mega team, you know everybody in the building.
Correct.
And I think that does change the way this place feels.
Oh, without a doubt. And that's exactly what I was talking about from the core values and people conforming to that was for a lot of these guys that came from these huge organizations, right? Like kind of a part of an assembly line feel. But I feel like I'm looking out here now. I mean, these guys working on my Circle Chevrolet going to the next race, right? There's 5 guys working on it right now. There'll be 5 guys that are working on whether it be the 16 or whatnot that are also coming from worker. My point being is everybody has a hand in everything, right?
Yeah.
So you feel like you're touching everything.
Yep.
And that brings a sense of pride, right, when they see their cars at the racetrack and performing well. And I take pride in that, right? There's a lot to be said about that. And
What do we got to look forward to for this year? What are you looking forward to?
oh man, just myself, just a lot of people say like you want to go prove people wrong. To me, it's about going and proving myself right. You know what I mean? Like just going and doing me, right? Like understanding the opportunities I have in front of me and going and do my deal.
Write that down. No, that was a quote. Put that on a T-shirt.
There you go.
All right, baby. Appreciate you.
Thanks, brother.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it from Kaulig Racing. Shout out to Chris Rice, Daniel Hemrick, AJ Allmendinger, plus LA Golf. I'm gonna go start working on my little putt swing here. We got some championships. The Kaulig Golf Companies Championship is coming up this year. We'll be there. Can't wait. See you next time.